Hi, I'm designer Jen Gallagher, and welcome to a Crop and Create video hosted by Scrapbook and Cards Today magazine. Today I'm using the Falling Leaves collection kit to create another 12 by 12 inch layout. If you haven't already viewed the first layout video, be sure to do so. In this layout, I'm going to use some of the more pastel pinks and earth tones to create a soft feminine page. Now the photo I'm going to use is actually a fall photo, but I wanted to concentrate and show you that you can use some of the other colors, such as the red and white diamond pattern paper I'm using here. You can see it has this kind of tribal grid on the back. We're going to start by building the bottom, so I'm going to scooch this up a little bit. The first thing that I did is I took some of the definition pattern paper from the Teacher's Pet collection and I ripped it along a diagonal like this. And I like it because it's almost the same cream color as the background in the red pattern paper. And we're going to attach this right at the bottom. And before that is completely attached, I've taken some of the blue math paper. And again, I'm going to treat this as if it is just any kind of a pattern. And I like it because of the tone of the blue. And I'm going to stick it behind the piece of definition paper. So one way to do this is when you're adding it to your page is usually use the actual design of the paper to get the look that you're going for. And then on top of that, I'm going to take some of the basil textured paper and I'll add that right along that bottom edge. So we've created these three little layers. You can see some sticks up and then some just shows a little bit. Then for the journaling, I took a piece of craft cardstock and I ran it through my printer and I printed the journaling directly onto it. And we're going to place it underneath where I'm going to put the frame. So I want to think about where the frame's going to go first. And then I'm going to do something different to help attach it. I'm going to take a stapler and I'm going to staple each side. And that just brings in a metal texture to the page. For the photo frame, I have the map frame from the frames that are included with the kit, and then again I have a fall photo. This was taken on an autumn walk. She has a caterpillar in her hands, and we'll go ahead and attach this to our photo. And I don't put a lot of adhesive on initially because if I don't get the placement exactly how I want to be able to pull it back up. And then you can see on the back the photo isn't perfectly straight, but it is where I wanted it to be framed on the front. So the front is what matters. Once you have the placement perfect, then you can add it to your layout. Then I'm going to take this smile tag, to which I've tied some white crochet twine, and I'm going to cut off part of it because I love that smile word. And then I can set it aside and use it for another project. And we'll just attach the tag to the top of the frame. And no one's the wiser that the entire frame, or rather the entire tag, is back there. All right, we're going to create some fun grid pieces to go on the left side in the very left top corner of the photo frame. And I'm taking some of these ephemera pieces that were in the Create Paper kit. And I'll just get the placement how I want it before I'll stick it on the page. Again, we're focusing on some of the more feminine elements. Before I stick this hello one down, I'm going to take the pin that is a pink color and I'm going to stick it underneath. And then I'll slightly bend it and bring it back up so that it sticks off the page a little bit. And then for some more metal, I'm going to take this star shape and I'm going to staple it in place. And that will bring some more of that metal that I used below onto the page. So just working with some metal, which is interesting for a feminine page, but it works for me. And I'm wondering with the metal on it if we might want to use some glue dots. So I'm going to add some glue dots instead. So I'm following the line of the frame. Then the special for today will stick slightly underneath the frame because if I put it on top, it covers her face. I just want to make sure that we get underneath both the frame and the photo and you can still read the words. And then I have this dream card. We'll place that below. And then to decorate that particular card, I'm going to take this number 15 tag. Again, I've tied some twine to it. And let's use a pop dot or two to stick it up on the page just a little bit. I did a lot of layering in the first video, and we're going to do some more with this one. And then to this Wild at Heart word strip, I'm going to add this other tag that has another phrase on top of it. And we're going to add that right on top. So it covers the original phrase, but you can still see the pattern. And then I'm going to take this heart ephemera piece. I'm using a lot of pieces from the ephemera. And we'll stick it off the top here. And then we'll take some of these white enamel dots and we'll add one right in the upper piece. So let me give you a closer look at some of the different layering we're doing. Then I'm going to take the ampersand, also from the ephemera collection. And we're going to add that on top of that dream card as well as the frame. And that will marry these two pieces together. Then to the top of the page, I'm going to take the remaining two big gold paper clips and I'm going to put one on with the small loop and one with the large loop. Then in this particular kit, there is this fun flower shape, and how it works is you're going to start with this inner piece and you put some glue on it. You can use wet adhesive or you can use a dry adhesive, and you're going to twist it around. And you're going to keep twisting. And what that does is that forms a flower. It's kind of hard to see. Let me show you what it looks like when they're done. There's two different sizes. There's a large and there's a small. And depending on how tightly you wrap them will determine how they fit onto the page. And then I just put a glue dot behind each of them so that they go on the page really, really well. Then for something fun, we're going to take the blue velvet ribbon and we're going to create leaves. And what I'm going to do is I start at a point, and it's okay if the ribbon frays, that'll actually make it look a little more distressed. And then we'll come down like this. So it's perfectly, just completely hand cut. But that brings in some of the blue to the page. And you can cut as many of these as you want. I'm just going to cut a few. And if you have a sewing machine, you can easily stitch them too if you wanted to the page, if you wanted to add some of that machine texture to the page, that machine stitching, or you can hand stitch if you're more comfortable with that, or you can just leave them as they are. And then to finish off the page, I'm just going to add a white enamel dot right in the center of each flower. And here's what it looks like. You can see that it just creates this fun dimensional flower. So here you have a layout that uses the Falling Leaves kit. You'll see that I incorporated a lot of different ephemera pieces as well as the dimensional flowers. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any of our tutorial videos, and watch for each of the videos that corresponds with the Falling Leaves kit.